So what does this chick, breath strips, and throat numbing spray all have in common? First off, I got to give a disclaimer for this video. This is not the video. You know, some of you watch while you're at work, people are around. Turn the volume down. Turn the volume down, put your headphones on, because this right here is the most disturbing flown out story I've heard. What am I talking about? We've done a bunch of videos of chicks who've gotten flown out of thirst, pure thirst. But I think I found the most thirsty.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Of these women yet. And honestly, there's a lot of people to blame here in this situation. There's a lot wrong in this situation. Listen, this is another episode of The Dating Market is Truly Effed Up, especially for this next crash out generation. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Story time on when I flew to another state to meet this young lady that's lit on the internet. And to me, I felt like he was cat. So yeah, I met him on the internet. I was in Bahamas, like the beginning of January for my son. I'm sorry, the beginning of February for my son's birthday,
okay,
or whatever. And he DM'd me on Instagram, like, need you. So I'm like, oh, I've been trying to give you me, or whatever, like that. So he like, you know, whatever. We gonna exchange numbers or what? So I'm like, yeah, because, like, you know, he's some fine shit. Like, I love dark skin. And when I say he's some fine shit, he's some fine shit. Or whatever, like that. So on the internet, like, you know, he got 2 watches, big Cardi, 6 cars, supposedly own his house, and he youngest or whatever. Like that. Dressed nice, always designer down, like always posting mad money, etc.
Expensive watches, expensive cars, very young. You know, this is that standard that you see a lot of the young and older modern chicks here being met. Let's keep listening.
So, you know, like, that's my type. I love me a hood, get money.
Right.
So he asked for my number or whatever, like that. So I gave him my number, and like he texted me. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it was little signs that I didn't like. Like, if you know I'm on vacation with my kids, like, I remember I posted my drink or whatever, and I didn't text him right back. And he's on my phone like, oh, you see me text you or whatever, but you posting. Like, that right there was like you only have my number for like 20 minutes, like, chill out. But I let him slide. So we planned to see each other or whatever, like this, like whatever, like that, on this Saturday. That's it, this Saturday, right? And we planned for me to come Valentine's Day weekend or whatever. And he
Valentine's Day weekend. That's recently.
But he was on some shit where, like, he was like, oh, come whatever, what day, what time, it don't even matter. Like, whenever you could come, just come. So I chose that weekend because I'm free every other weekend for my kids. They go with their dad or whatever, like that. So that was my free weekend. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I thought he was a fake page at first or whatever, like that, because it just was like too good to be true. So we would only text, and like he'd tell me to FaceTime him, but by the time I FaceTime him or whatever, he not answering. Now he got an excuse or he don't FaceTime back. So I started thinking, like, I'm gonna get catfish if I go down here. So I told him, I'm like, look, this Wednesday, like the Wednesday before the Friday. So I'm like, FaceTime me before Friday or I'm not coming. So now he got all that energy. He FaceTime me, etc. I got him on the phone. Before you really couldn't, like, he'd just be texting and shit like that. So he FaceTime me. He was real, looked the same, looked good as I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready, etc. So Friday come and we talk, and I'm like, you know, like, you ready? Like, I'm at the nail salon. I'm like, you ready? Like, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to meet you, etc. So he like, yeah, or whatever, like that. But I feel like his energy was a little off because he was more excited days before. So I'm like, you good, love? Like, you okay? Because I'm like, I feel like your energy is like kind of off. Like, you're not excited as you was. So he's like, oh, I just found out I got to get my daughter or whatever today. Mind you, it's the day I leave. Like, I'm leaving at 10 p.m. at night to land. I think my flight would land like 12:48 a.m. originally. So I'm like, yo, I took our work for this or whatever, and I already checked into the flight. And he's like, well, what's the issue? Nobody didn't tell you not to come. Like, you can still come. I'm good. I'm gonna just get a sitter. If anything, her and the sitter just stay at my house, and we could just get a room. So I'm like, you know what? All right, that's cool. I'm all for that, or whatever the case may be.
Okay, so if you guys haven't figured this out yet, this is a mother, right? This is a mother. Because oh my bad. There's a whole lot going on right now with people giving different takes and opinions. And yes, there's like an entertainment factor to all this. But if you've ever wondered, you know, you see situations, you may see people wonder, how did you end up in the situation you're in? 3 kids, which I think she's got like 3 kids, right? Obviously a single mom. And you're thinking to yourself, how did that happen? What type of decisions were you making? And the guy, yes, I'm talking about the gentleman involved in this situation. You can think to yourself, well, how did you end up, if he's not there yet, but how did you increase the chances of you having 1 baby mama or 2 or 3 or 4? Right? We're seeing this happening, playing out in real time as this story goes on, and it only gets more disturbing.
Off of that, or whatever the case may be. So I still go, like I get my nails and I run to the mall, I get everything I need, I pack my shit, and I tell them like, all right, I'm for Atlanta this time. I go to the airport. Mind you, y'all, I'm rushing because I'm always last minute. I get to the airport, I board the flight, or whatever like that. So before I boarded the flight, he texted me this hotel, like Cigna or something like that. It's like one of the best hotels in Atlanta. So I tried to book the hotel online, but everything was booked up. So I told him, I'm like, look, everything booked up because it's Valentine's Day weekend. So he like, nah, you got to call. So I called and like everything was booked up. Like literally it was no hotel. So he like, well, find whatever you can find and just book it. And I'm going to get you from the airport. So I'm like, you know, what's your budget? So he like, what you mean? I'm like, what's your budget? Like I'll book the room. But when I land, I expect to get my money back or whatever like that. So I'm on the plane, y'all. The plane
flew out without a confirmation of where to stay, all just because you were too thirsty to get your cheeks clapped. Please stay in your daughter's lives, gentlemen.
I took off. So then like, oh, the least you could do is pay for the room. So I'm like, huh? So this when a mishap coming because I get it. Okay, we supposed to stay at your house originally, but then your child came into play. So now we got to go stay somewhere else, which is cool because I think a hotel is better anyway because you don't know me and I don't know you. And it's more safer, I feel like. So he like, yeah, like you can pay for the room. I'm going to fund the rest of the trip. Baby, you a whole scammer. You think I'm paying for a mother hotel for you to come for me? So he all like, yo, I feel like you could pay for something. I'm funding the rest of the trip or whatever the case may be. Yo, so we start arguing or whatever like that. So then the plane land and I'm like, you really arguing over a $300-something hotel, but you scamming, you hitting all these licks, all this big money you posting. I mean, like $20,000-$30,000. You can't book a $300 hotel. And I just felt like if you brought me to your city, you should make sure I'm good. Like if you came to my city and something happened, I'm going to correct it before you get there. I'm going to figure this shit out. Because I mean, why wouldn't I? Like it don't make sense. I didn't ask to come there. You wanted to come. Now I agree we wanted to see each other, but still, like, what?
So I don't know how the economics work in the fly you out and you clap my cheeks and I don't know what happens after that. They brag about it, maybe take them shopping for a little bit. Chuck E. Cheese. Do they still have Chuck E. Cheese? I don't know what happens, but apparently there's a disagreement here in who is supposed to pay for the hotel room. Right? There's a disagreement about who is going to pay for the living space where who knows what was going to take place. With that being said, if she's telling the truth here, she does kind of have a point. And you might be looking and going, well, Chisha, what does that have to do with anything? I may be wrong here, guys. I'm not an expert when it comes to flying out 304s. Never been involved, never done it in my life. But if he did fly her out and she's never been there, I'm thinking like, okay, there would be some type of living arrangements. I don't know how it works. Maybe you guys know. Let me know in the comment section down below. This is crazy.
So when I landed, arguing, going all back and forth with shit. So I'm like, listen, cancel your sitter, stay home with your kid. Go ahead and bond. I'm cool. Like I ain't even link you no more, etc. Y'all, this like, oh, you must be coming to come see another. What? I took off.
Hold on. Did she say cancel your sitter? Hold on.
So when I landed, arguing, going all back and forth with shit. So I'm like, listen, cancel your sitter, stay home with your kid. Go ahead and bond. I'm cool. Like I ain't even link you no more, etc. Y'all, this was like, oh, you must be coming to come see another. What? I took off from my job, stopped one of my business to come see you. And you talking about another. That's your response? Y'all, he kept arguing. I couldn't believe it because I'm like, bro, like if you getting all this money and you got all this motion, all this shit going on, like $300 is nothing. So I'm like, if I book this hotel, you can't come. So that's what I did. I booked the hotel.
If it's nothing, then why don't you pay for it? Don't you love how people, like, something I think is hella funny is women will judge the expense of something based on other people. It's just something that they do. It's just something they do. They'll be like, that's cheap. But they don't want to pay for that drink. Isn't that crazy? Like you're not going to spend $20 for an Uber. If it's that small of an amount of money, then you pay for it. Right? Let's keep listening. Let's keep listening.
And shout out to that Spirit flight attendant because he stayed in that airport with me and found me a hotel, y'all. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had nowhere to stay, like at all. But I booked that hotel, y'all, and I left that on red. Like I stopped responding and I just made it into a solo trip. But I still was just like mad because I trip. Like Atlanta cool. We used to do that for New Year's, but like just to go and spend that much money, it was just like I could have went somewhere else. Like that was kind of crazy. So me personally, I just feel like his lifestyle got to be kept because I done dealt with some big money. I mean, rich like that's running businesses to get legit money. I done dealt with a rapper. I'm not gonna say who he is because he is a big rapper that y'all listen to.
Ooh, she messed with the rapper. What? Oh man. Oh man. These dudes out here with a little bit of money, they just must be like cleaning house. That's it? That's all you got? Messing with the rapper is being able to brag that you mess with the rapper
every single day. And people with money ain't complaining. They're not doing all that. Like, I'm telling you, they're not doing all that. Like, when you come see them, they have everything into play. Everything booked, itinerary set up, all that. Like, it ain't making sense. So, to me, his life was just cat. And to be honest, I never really seen him go out and do nothing or anything like that. Like, he not in the mall blowing no money. Like, he ain't no 5-star restaurants. Like, he really don't be doing nothing. Like, he might go skate or something. But, like, other than that, like, that don't be really doing shit like with the money he's supposed to have. Like he got all this motion. You would think he'd be tripping like something. Like, nah, he not doing none of that. So
blowing money, getting pregnant, having kids outside of wedlock. Oh man, what a life. I'm sorry, man. This generation, this obsession, this, it's definitely a culture of setting yourself up for pain and tears in the very near future. Insane to me, man. Insane to me. Bragging about blowing. In a rap song, it sounds cool. In real life, those are horrible financial decisions. I don't care how lame you think it is to save and invest and not fly out 304s and marry before you carry. Insane.
So me personally, the life is cat. And I was just mad because I felt like, damn, like I flew here to see you and this happened. Never doing it again. And then his excuse was, well, you knew what I had going on and you still came. You never told me not to come. When I checked in with you and we spoke, you told me to still come. It wasn't an issue. And you was going to get a sitter. Like, what? That don't even make sense. Like, make it make sense. I would have said, home. I'm not that pressed to see no, like, I get this. Like, what? Be for real. I was just upset at the fact that you still allowed me to come or whatever like that, knowing that you was going to do that or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying he lying about getting his kid, because do that. Like, know it's a Valentine's Day week or something going on and be like, oh yeah, you not, I'm going to stick him with the kid because I don't want him to be with no other. So it do be like that, but still, like, come on, yo. Like, I don't.
Okay, so.
Live down the street. I live in another state. I flew there.
So that's it. Video got like millions of views. Everybody was talking about it. They were comforting her in the comment section. And then he shared his side of the story. Right? Again, the frame that I would like you guys to look at this at is, if you're wondering how choices are made, like I just see bad decisions happening left and right here. If you're wondering how people end up in situations that they're in, and in this generation of technology, like you put something out there, it is out there for everybody to see. And now you're viral. This is the young dude and his response to the situation. Let's get it.
You really know up, let me get in the hang of this shit for real. Cause now I got it figured out so I can go ahead and do these little, you get what I'm saying? So look, right? Now we just gonna piggyback off of the whole she said some shit like what it is. Oh yeah, he got mad with me because I was out of town and texting my kids and all that, like whatever the that's supposed to be about.
So caption up here. Let's read the caption. It says, if you're going to tell the truth, tell the full story. The laughing emojis. And so it sounds like there were some lies being told. Let's keep listening.
Anywho, that shit ain't got nothing to do with nothing at all. You get what I'm saying? Fast forward to these messages. You get what I'm saying? Now look, now check this out. She say like, I supposed to pay for a hotel or we argued about a hotel or some shit about like some shit with some money. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's what really pissed me off. Like that's what made me even get into this whole you did anyway, you feel me? Now, that's my whole thing. Now, I done made it clear that I was getting my daughter Friday. You know what I'm saying? I let her know at 4 p.m. on Friday, like, okay, well, I'm getting my daughter and I'm gonna have her for the weekend, or the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Now, your flight don't leave until 11 o'clock, whatever the case may be. Your flight don't leave until 11 o'clock at night. Now, by your flight don't leave at 11 o'clock tonight, meaning like, okay, Will, I ain't really trying to be mean to you, but like, I'm gonna give you all the signs what for this. All right, Will. I just told you my daughter coming. I done already let you know like beforehand. I'm not bringing nobody around my daughter. Like it ain't none of that type of shit going on, especially no stranger. Like it ain't none of that going on. I got too much respect for myself. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, mama, and my daughter alone. People be having weird intentions and shit towards kids. Whatever.
Okay. So I'm just going to say it right here. The first video I saw before I haven't watched any of these, but the first video I saw, I was like, am I going to talk about this? Was a video exposing that he was lying about the daughter. There's no daughter. He was with some other chick. And he's lying about the daughter. I also want to add that he shared some text messages. And I know we're jumping around here, but you know, there's a different objective here that I'm trying to get across. And he was sharing texts that proved that she brought herself to Atlanta, purchased the tickets. How are women so thirsty to fly themselves out to random men who already have made horrible decisions in their current lives? I don't know. But we see it happen all the time. Check out this text message conversation. It says, you're right. I hate small talk. Let me know when you're in Atlanta. That's him, right? And she responded, there's the words are blocked. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. She said you paid for the flight. You said you didn't. Who lying? So he's responding with the text messages. She responds and says, so when I'm in Atlanta, I'll hit you. Like I'm never just in Atlanta. The crying emoji. He says, no. She keeps on going. She says, I booked it. She booked what? She booked the flight. So her framing it like you flew me out there. You're the one that brought me out there was a lie.
This coffee smells like shit.
It was a lie. She was thirsty. We're in the last days. Goes on to say, my cousin got me scared, LOL. She's screaming, you don't even know him. So people were warning her. You're flying to random men so you could get your cheeks clapped for what? And then he responds with the crying emoji, what, you think I'm going to do something to you or something? And she responds back, LOL, yeah. She's telling me stories of people going to see people and one girl, a guy cut her body into pieces. LOL, all crazy shit. What the F? But did that stop her? Did the warnings from her friends telling her to not travel to random men just to get her cheeks clapped stop her? No. She traveled fast, not slow. And so he goes on and talk about a whole bunch of stuff that's, you know, the drama stuff. We need to move on to other topics here. But the disturbing part is this right here.
What a type shit like, oh yeah, well, we had plans and what the ever. Like, I don't give a you is. Don't nobody come before my daughter. You feel me? Now, mind you, like, okay, so that was that whole Friday. Now, look, I still text her on Saturday just to make sure, like, she was good, she was safe. Because at the end of the day, you're not from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're not from Atlanta at all. I'm not from Atlanta at all. But, like, it was just cold that night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, yeah, are you okay? You know, on some, like, checking up on her type shit. You feel me? See, oh, yeah, I had found a room. You know, nothing like, everything was regular for real. Now, the shit really went left for real that Saturday when it came to the point what it is. She got to text me all like extra thirsty shit. Like you got breath mints and like numbing spray. You know what I'm saying? That shit new to me. You know what I'm saying? All right, okay. All right, so whatever. You know what I'm saying? Brush that off. And then you got to ask me shit like, oh yeah, have I ever gave my ate, my behind ate? I don't know if TikTok gonna like blur it out or some shit because of that.
She asked this man if he's ever had his booty ate. How did he react? Let's find out.
Hold on, what the this lady's throwing me off now. You know what I mean? You throwing me off. You throwing me all the way off. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm just like, nah, hell no. She won't be seeing me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna link up with you. I'm not finna have sex with you. It ain't none of that going on. Like, you know, I'm cool on it. I'm straight on it. Now,
Scared
man,
straight.
y'all, it would never ever be a storyline. It wouldn't be a story time. It wouldn't be none of that. You know why? If I pulled up to see her at that hotel, had I had sex with her, any of that shit, you know what I'm saying? If any of that shit would have went her way as far as in like sexual intercourse, she would have never made a story time. You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, like she was scaring me on some like, hold on, what the f***? Don't be saying no shit like that to be like, you know, you scam me for real on some shit. Like, you know, like, hold on. You been a little bit too thirsty, you feel me? Now, my whole thing is on top of you being a little bit too thirsty, right? I mean, on top of her being a little too thirsty, right? I'm just like, all right, okay, whatever. You feel me? Like, now mind y'all, rewind. We was texting this shit for like probably like a week and a half. I want to say we probably was texting for like a week and a half for real. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I ain't never been on the phone at all. Like,
So let me get this straight. Never spoken to him on the phone. Only texted, and you were ready to do that? I'm even uncomfortable with it, with that I'm even addressing this longer than 1 minute. As a man, the thirst today, because I saw a video recently that said, you know, women, they're searching for love in the wrong places, and you know, they're trying to fill a hole of lack of a parental figure. And I'm just like, what about these women are just 304s? What about this is a direct path to the dysfunction we see all around us? And he doesn't get him too. And even though the child is fictitious, at the end of the day, when I found out that he was with this chick right here with the face tattoo, I realized that, oh, this is just bad decisions being made left and right by both individuals. Yes, I do judge people with face tattoos. No, I do not think that because you have a face tattoo that you are a bad person. That's not what I mean. But it means something. It does mean something. And if you think life doesn't work that way, you're seeing when I see someone with the face tattoo, I assume they're going through shit like this. Everything we're seeing right now. The throat spray, here's a picture of the throat spray, the throat numbing spray, and the breath strips. It says, this the one pick you need. LOL. You get it? And he said, I got a picture, but I don't know what that is. She says, really? LOL. That's sore throat spray and breath strips. He responds and says, you got a sore throat? She says, babe, that was for me to give you head. OMG. The throat sore numbs your throat. So I'm glad they cut that off. I'm glad they cut that off because I don't know what else she went on to say there. I just know it would have shocked the whole audience.
never been on the phone. No, we get on FaceTime for the first time. You feel me? It was like a 3-minute call or some shit like that. But when I first get on the phone, I got my face in the camera. She got her face in the camera. But she got on like these clear glasses. Now, when I say stop playing, put your face in the camera, you know, I don't know if that like rubbed her the wrong way, but I'm just in my head like this not the same person that I was just looking at on Instagram. You feel me? So now, like, I'm not saying she ugly. I'm not taking that from her at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like she not the like what she looked at like on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So it caught me off guard type shit.
Okay, so he pretty much says that she didn't look like her photos, and then you had different people coming in to give their take on this whole situation.
But if you send a picture of throat spray to someone and they don't know what it is, so they ask, is your throat sore or something? I will be like, never mind. Turn this plane around. And the breast strips, But you ain't got no confirmation number. You know how many hotels are in Atlanta? And no confirmation number.
Are people not afraid of STDs? Are people, because if someone's sending me medication like that, you know, and I don't know what it is, I could see how he was scared from that photo. But that's the thing I'm thinking about. You know, when I hear about these chicks just flying out based on photos they see on Instagram, that seems to be the play. Go rent out a bunch of cars. If you're really dumb, you buy them, right? And blow your money and take photos with those cars, hold some bands, get some watches. You know, I'm not talking about people who buy those responsibly. I'm not saying those are bad things, but I'm saying you do that for the purpose of attracting these chicks, is what I see. They show up and they're just giving it up to everybody that they see. And now it's being recorded and documented for the whole world, and it will forever be online.
Number, but how did everybody know she was eating butt? Was it the throat spray or the breast strips? I don't know. The marriage bed under fire, but these are defiling things. How do people know stuff I didn't know?
So he didn't see the part where she said, where she be, oh, I know you guys are like, show the comments. My bad, man. Let's check out a few of these comments. So this is on his video where he exposed her, right? It says, she said you paid for the flight. You said you didn't. Who lying? Here's somebody else who says, everybody that's here right now, we messy as hell. Here's somebody else who says, is you King Von? Okay, so they're saying he sounds like King Von. Here comments from underneath the photo. Top comment says, this is underneath the throat spray and breath strips photo. It says, at ease, my queen. Here's somebody else who says, you got a sore throat. The boy is innocent. Somebody else here added, I'm screaming. Here's another chick who says, mind you, he said, you got a sore throat. I'm wheezing. Here's somebody else who added, the sore throat spray is new for me because what? LOL. Here's somebody else who says, she too advanced. And somebody else here says, exactly. LMAO. Here's somebody else who added, exactly. I'm trying to figure out how to get that. And here's somebody else who added, that's that numbing throat spray. What's that supposed to do? Okay, so these chicks they've seen what they have seen here and they want to incorporate it into their lives. Unbelievable. But is it? But is it at this point? Here's somebody else who says, that's too fast, mamas. When I see that, you know, a chick has, because people be like, what's wrong with 3 kids by 3 different baby dads? When you hear that, right, and there's no ring involved, don't get it twisted, man. It does matter whether those kids, even if you are a single mom, it does matter. And men who tell you it doesn't matter, they're lying. There is a difference. If a woman says, oh yeah, I'm a single mom, but I was married, that's different. It's not the ideal situation. Men aren't sitting there going, great, you know, your family's broken. That's not, they're not congratulating you, but it does matter. There's a difference between that woman and the chick who has the throat spray and breath strips. But I'm basically saying this is what people imagine, all right? These are the nightmare stories going through a dude's mind when you're talking about never having been married, but you have a bunch of different kids. Let's see what else we have. We have this guy.
Y'all can leave that throat spray eater alone. Y'all can leave that woman alone. Because if you ask me, old buddy was scared. She was about to take him up and through there. Shawty had a concoction ready. It was just a whole trend on this app. We listen and we don't judge. The whole bunch of situations where y'all should have been judging. But now y'all judging her. Don't king shame her. That's what she like.
Nah, we're gonna.
If that's what she
her.
like, let her do what she want to do. All the time I say, oh my God, I can't believe you just met this man and you already then flew out there trying to do this. And look, it's a lot of y'all out here just met a man that had a whole baby with him. Whole baby bound. So let's not judge.
And you know what? The better reason to be more careful. I'm glad he said that. Because I know there's going to be a guy who's going to be saying, bro, why are you judging him? What's wrong with him messing with the chicks? As long as they're there. No. All it takes is one bad decision. All it takes is one bad decision. This goes for both men and women. The men who are exposing themselves to these crazy chicks and the women who are out here with the throat spray. Right?
She'd have scared that young man. She was putting a concoction together to make like the Powerpuff Girls or something. She had that chemical X in the bag ready to go. Ready to go. She put the shit in a whole different bottle. She said, nah, this gotta marinate. It gotta sit. It gotta bind correctly. Like the fact that she went through all that.
That's crazy.
She was dedicated, hard worker. She was gonna do something to that young man that was gonna change the rest of his life.
Forever. Forever.
Now listen, baby, Auntie Bree ain't gonna kick you when you're down, but this is story time. You should have just took to your grave. You shouldn't have said nothing, okay? Now this young man said you was out here asking to eat his booty. You was inquiring about his booty, and you scared him with that, okay? He was scared when you started talking about his booty. You said you never asked to eat his booty. You said you told him that if he didn't know what something was, that means he never had his booty ate. Now, I'm gonna ask you this. If you had no intentions on going back there,
She got caught in the first lie. We're not going to believe this.
trying to eat his booty, why did you even bring up anything about eating booty in the first place? And he said he didn't understand why you were sending him that pictures of that numbing throat spray and them Listerine strips, okay? He really thought your throat was sore. Hell, I did too. I didn't know what the hell that is. But again, Auntie Brio, you said you sent him that because you was planning on...
I feel like I'm getting old. Am I getting old? Is this what's happening? Throat spray? Breath strips? Please comment down below, guys. How many of you guys, if you'd have seen that photo, would have immediately put those two things together? And if you're in your early 30s, I'm 31, right? But I'm married too, man. So I'm on the outside looking, and this is crazy.
Going to work on his ham bone. You said you was going to go to work on his ham bone because he was just too damn fine. I don't know who telling the whole truth, you or this young man right here. But what I do know is you did too damn much. You did too much. You played yourself. You shouldn't have went out there in the first place, okay? Because you should have read the room on how you said he was moving funny before you even got that flight to go out there and pay for your own hotel room for Valentine's Day, baby. You should have just kept this story time to yourself.
Right.
Okay? But you win some and you lose some, like they say. But you're going to live. You're going to live to fight another day. But more of the story is you should have just left this man and his booty alone. He from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. I'm telling you. Chicago people sometimes can be a totally different breed, all right?
I could tell he's from Chicago for sure. And that's why they were probably saying he sounds like Vaughn. My wife's born in Chicago. Let's see. What the F, chicken leg going on, auntie girl. I'm busting up.
Leave this man and his booty alone, ma'am. Let it go. Move on. Okay?
All right. Let's move on.
Two single moms decided to move in together and show up for each other after men didn't show up for them. Mom Chanel Wolf announced that she had just moved in with her new parenting partner. She was so proud that they were going to save money and that they had a house with a yard. Moving in with a roommate was never part of Wolf's life plan, but as a 36-year-old single mom, life took some unexpected twists and turns. But even though times were hard, she showed up as a mom, ensuring that her daughter felt safe and loved. Wolf's new roommate/parenting partner, Amber, is also a single mom, and this new arrangement will give them both the support that they need since neither of them have family nearby.
Is this the future? Because this seems like the future. You know, the women getting together and cohabitating if they can get along. That's the big one, right? If they could get along.
A couple of weeks after moving in, Wolf provided an update, saying that the ways that she and Amber show up for each other are like nothing she could have ever imagined. Things are just getting done. No one even has to ask, and the little girls are starting to get along. Wolf is even making plans for backyard chickens and converting the garage into a pink playroom for the girls. And Wolf is recognizing that every time she's received unconditional love and support in her life, it's come from a girlfriend. The idea of a mommune isn't new, and there are benefits for the moms who get to share the burden of finances and childcare while finding companionship with other single moms, as well as benefits for children who have built-in playmates and additional trusted adults in their lives.
So let me get this straight. Women are willing to share financial responsibilities with each other, but not with the men who they want to marry them. So this is celebrating an okay, but add a man to the mix, and it's time for me to be a helpless princess who can't contribute at all. Insane.
It's an alternative living arrangement that can work beautifully. Wolf hopes that her story will inspire other single moms to stop waiting around for a man to show up and instead turn to their fellow women for support. Because women supporting women, we absolutely love to see it.
Oh, man. Top comment says, finally, let's normalize it. Here's another person says, communities are reappearing. A group of women fighting from sunrise to sundown. A group of women fighting from sunrise to sundown is not community, lady. Somebody else here says, the matriarchy has a pulse. Was it dead? Somebody else who says, I think I need a wife. Oh, they're just straight up saying it out here. Like they're straight up turning into lesbians. Single women app needed where they can match. Someone needs to invent it. Seriously. I mean, we all know the problem with that. You know, we know that lesbian couples have the highest rate of DV. They fight all the time. They don't get along. I think there was a video recently. There was a video recently about this like stud chick. Let me see if I can find it. And she was venting about how, let me see, about how she does not like being the provider. You know, this is a woman who has been dealing with dating women. Check it out.
I'm single now, and I realized that I will never be completely happy as long as I'm providing for somebody. I'm sorry, but it irks me to come home after I've been working, you know, to see somebody sitting up on my couch and not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying the fruits of my labor. The economy is a beast. And I worked hard to get to the place that I am today. I didn't have no handouts. You know what I'm saying? I had to work hard for this shit. And I'd be damn if, you know what I'm saying, I let somebody else come up in here and enjoy my shit without offering to contribute, to pay a bill up in this bitch. I'm trying to have something. I'm trying to own a home. You know, if the right woman come along, maybe a family with the right woman. But like I said, I need a partner that's gonna be a partner, not a dependent. You know, you can lean on me, I can lean on you. You know, if one of us need help, I got you, and vice versa.
So, guys, this is what if men acted like women and complained as much as they did, modern women in specific, modern women, then this is what they would be doing. And it makes sense that a stud would do this. It makes sense that a stud would get on here and vent like this because you're a woman at the end of the day. You're a woman. And you're doing what women do. They complain when they're supposed to be doing their job. Yes.
You know, that's how I know it's real. We both women. We both have the same needs. Shit, I don't want to work either. I want to sit up on my ass and not do shit all day too.
I wasn't sure if she even identified, you know. I don't know what, you know, it could go either way, but yeah, I'm happy to hear that.
But I can't, because I wouldn't have shit. The only time I'd be cool with being a provider for another adult is for my wife that's pregnant. And after the pregnancy, she decides she want to, you know, homeschool the kids, because who want to put their kids in the public education system right now, especially. But other than that, I'm not financially supporting another full able-bodied adult ever again, because I realized that I'm never going to be happy doing that. If you don't own a pot to piss in, you can't come piss in my pots.
So this is what it's going to end up like when this article turns to reality, right? The article we saw, it's going to end up, you know, into this type of a situation. A man who's accepted the role as a provider, like if he's really accepted that and understands that he's not going to get any help, though he may have times where he's thinking to himself, man, this is a lot on my shoulders. I'll tell you what he most likely won't do. He won't go online and start complaining and whining and crying about taking that provider role. Now, are there a few people who might do that? Sure. But most men who've accepted that role and are okay with that dynamic don't do that. Let's see a few comments here. Top comment says, men been saying this for years. Somebody else who says, nah, don't quit now. Strap up and clock in, Mr. Ma'am. Here's somebody else that says, now y'all women understand 50-50. Here's somebody else who says, that double standard is wild. Let a hetero man be saying this. These comments would be way different. What do I see? Wait, do I see women agreeing, this commenter says? And so the women here are agreeing. Why? Because they look at a woman and they see someone who shouldn't have to work, right? Shouldn't have to work. Unfortunately, you fought to work, and now you get to work. Welcome to your modern reality. Moving on.
Everybody grab a seat. Let's watch something together, and hopefully this can be a learning lesson for anybody that it may apply to.
You want a toxic? That's not what I am. I don't be on that, bro. I don't be on that. I'm not no toxic nigga who's toxic shit. I'm not on that toxic.
So this says Valentine's Day gone wrong. I hear a lot of venting there. It sounds like it's their man.
You sound toxic right now. No, because I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off, but I'm irritated as fuck right now. Okay.
So clearly this couple is having a disagreement. He is trying to convey to her that he's irritated.
Right.
He stops himself when he says, I'm mad. He's explaining to her, I don't do this toxic stuff. I don't do this back and forth. I'm irritated, but
right.
I'm not toxic. Yes, you are toxic. She ain't listening at all. Let's see what else happens.
Irritated. Because I asked you to pull over so I can drive my car. And I said I would. It wasn't an issue. So what's the problem? Why you still back and forth about it? Because you want to keep dismissing me. I told you about this. Why you still talking?
He said that you are dismissing me, and I've told you about that. Well, convo over. Why are you still talking? While he is in the middle of telling her what his issue is, she is doing the exact thing. Let's keep going.
You said it was something with the windshield. You said you don't see. I did not. I said this. Does this bother you driving like this? No, what you said, but it's cool. I'm driving. Let it go. All I said was pull over. Let me drive. Why is there a problem? Ain't no because problem. I want to drive my car. Drive your shit. Okay, well, be quiet.
Hey, be quiet. Well, be quiet. It's over. Be quiet. He already told you that he's tired of you dismissing him. And here you are dismissing him again.
Right.
And I'm only surmising that there's some kind of issue with the windshield, whether it is the defrost, the windshield wiper blades. Apparently, their view is probably obstructed in some kind of way. She's used to driving with whatever issue is. He asked, do you have a problem with your windshield like this? No, it turns into an argument, probably because she's offended. She's offended that you're talking about my car like that. And let's keep going.
My guy, put some shorts on and run. Put some shorts on and take off. In the night, if you have to. Because this coffee
smells like shit.
Smells like shit.
All that conversation over. Bro, who you talking to? Yeah, like I'm some bitch or something, bro. It was you're not finna keep coming to me like that, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. You're not finna keep coming to me like that. And if I flat do, out. And if I do, we not gonna be together. Flat out. Okay, well we ain't gotta be together. You're not finna keep doing this shit. We ain't gotta be together.
Wow.
Now I don't know about y'all, but what I heard was he identified the problem he was having. He told her what the solution would be for him to be fulfilled. He set clear boundaries on what could not continue to happen. And instead of that woman respecting any of that, she ended the relationship. Well, we ain't got to be together then. Instead of you admitting that you are doing something that is hurting this man, bothering this man, disrespecting him, you would just rather end the relationship. I want any woman that has ever heard herself sound like this, I want you to be honest with yourself. What kind of relationship are you in now? What type of respect are you getting from the relationship based on what you give? I was once one of these women, and I'm so glad I have been working on myself because no man wants to be disrespected and dismissed like that.
Congratulations for working on yourself. I'm glad to hear that, but we're gonna get into that in a little bit.
And ladies, we really got to work on this. If you are with a man that you don't respect, leave. Because y'all treating these men with such disrespect is often how a lot of y'all's relationships end in tragedy or physical harm. And I know y'all don't want to hear that, but Sometimes y'all be poking the bear and then be mad when the bear bites.
Okay. She said it, not me. You know, I'm not gonna double down on that. But I'm gonna say this to my men out there: if you're dating, and I mean you're actually dating to be exclusive, long term, something healthy, understand that there's like an extreme approach that some people have today when they look at women. They'll say something like, "Oh, if she doesn't get it, she'll never get it." No, that's not true. The same way men go from simp to eyes opened, women do go from argumentative because they think that man will not leave. And that's your superpower. It's a fact. It's a very powerful thing to do. Be able to walk away from a woman, regardless of how beautiful she is, regardless of how thick she is, right? You're able to walk away regardless of how much of a great time you have together. If she is bringing chaos, stress, and pain to your life, then it's not worth it. You should not be sacrificing the quality of your life for a good time. And to the man who walks away, you teach that woman a very valuable lesson if she's willing to learn it. And I also want you to know that when you are dealing with this, there are other women out here who've already learned this lesson. They've already learned this lesson already. Yes, they have improved themselves. They exist. There are chicks right now who think back to a man who they fumbled because of their tongue. There are men who think of women who they fumbled because of lack of self-control. I'm not just talking about sexual discipline, that too. But no, just self-control in anything, even their emotions. And I need you to know that those women do exist. You don't have to go through dealing with a chick who you have to teach, constantly teach to respect you. And she constantly crosses the line. Now, don't get this confused with a woman being human, because we all cross the line once in a while, once in a blue moon. But can it be once every 3 months that an argument comes up and it gets heated? Because you're going to fight. No one just lives in peace and tranquility here on life. We're human beings. We all have faults. At least I'm not perfect. If you are, then good for you. My marriage is perfect. All right, that's cool. That's not most marriages, right? That's not most relationships. But it's about how you communicate with each other. Are you respectful? Do you have boundaries or lines that you're not going to cross? Because you won't be able to take that stuff back. You don't have to deal with somebody who has not yet learned that those things are detrimental to the longevity of a relationship. You don't have to deal with that, bro. Cut her off, leave ASAP, is my opinion. If you're dealing with this consistently, over and over and over and over again, and the person's not willing to understand that they are, let's use the modern woman word here, verbally abusive. All right. So top comment here says, why is he driving the car? Where is his car? And maybe he should get his car, house together before he even pursued her in the first place. So maybe he doesn't have a car. I mean, like, would it be better for him to focus on his finances and get his car together? Yeah, probably. But you know what? She still decided to give the man a chance regardless. Here's somebody else who says this is his fault. He let it slide too long, and now she thinks shit's sweet. He need to cut her ass off. And so again, I'm telling you, right here, this man's speaking facts because he's probably gone through this a few times and realized that they just don't learn. Since chicks that don't learn because they've never had somebody who they truly value cut them off. Walk away. Not get emotional. Not get violent. No, none of that. Walking away as a man is your superpower because a woman, unfortunately, is controlled by her emotions. Somebody else here says she's going to be single for the rest of her life. Here's another person who says, I definitely feel his pain. So the commenter added exactly my point. Exactly. That's growth. Yo, this is nothing but facts. Yeah. And here we have a woman who said, hey, I was there at one point. I had to learn this. But I'm tired of just seeing men thinking they have to learn this lesson with a woman while they're dating her. There are plenty of lessons you learn together when it comes to communication. When you guys are finally in that relationship, right? There's fine tuning. There's things to learn later on, but disrespect at a high level, you don't have to put yourself through that, man. All right, guys, that's it. Of course, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. To my soon-to-be married and soon-to-be engaged men, head over to fathershaverights.com and get yourself the #1 guide to drafting a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement. Use offer code REVIEw. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.